So here with Happy Chapai, and this is magnetic forces. So we are a magnetic force. Uh, if you've lived on this planet for any time at all, where you've came to a schooling and learnt that knowledge of anything on this earth, you'll have seen that we as people are magnetic. Since birth, everybody wants to come to see the baby. Everybody wants to hold the baby. Well, maybe not everyone. I'm not that type. Um, I always had that fear, uh, especially when they weren't mine, to hold another person's baby, to have that life in my hands. Uh, Afraid of hurting them, dropping them, just afraid of hurting them. So delicate, so small, and never wanted to take that risk, to have another person's life in my hands. But anyway, we are magnetic. We draw in people. Some good, some not so good. But yet, it's good. It's all good. It's only not so good because the vibration's different. You might find that you have a strong pull towards you, where you get all sorts of metals drawn to you, attaching to you. Some strong, some not, some drop off. And what I find in life is like a big magnet. Where you draw in loads of pieces of metal and they attach to you. But between them pieces of metal, there's bits of dirt that gets clogged up in between them. So you have to pull them pieces of metal away and clean the dirt off, letting the magnet regain its power. As the attachments weren't for ever, or they would have came with the magnet. They only clinged on one at a time. Or maybe there was a few at a time. And between them magnets, all that dirt got picked up in between the magnets, or in between the pieces of metal that linked to the magnet. And it became a weight on the magnet. And it started losing its force, its draw, the pull, because of these extended pieces that was attaching itself to the magnet. And all the dirt that got clogged up in between them, because they were not meant to be there. Not for a lasting period of time. Only to be drawn by the magnet to move it from one place to another. And then it was to be released. by an outside force, which is your choice. A choice to change what has happened. So when someone comes into your field and attaches onto you, and you've moved and moved and moved further on in your life, and you see that attachment has not progressed anywhere, has not set themselves free and moved off in their own direction, well, then you look at them as in one of them pieces of metal that's holding you down, so you need to release it and clean up any dirt that was left there between that metal and another, between that metal and you as the magnet. Regaining your pull force, your magnetic force of who you are. And you keep moving like that. Never attached to anything but yourself. There's nothing outside of you came with you, so it will never go to where you need to go. All else has its own destination. So as that magnetic force that we are, it's a force that we've got to fight against ourselves, one another, yet loving one another for what we learn of them attachments. Or we wouldn't learn anything. We would be numb. I had a silly saying that just came to my head. Excuse me language, I'm saying it anyway. Numb, dumb, and so full of cum. Why was that cum? Don't know. It's something I thought of. I know where it was coming from. And it relates to something that's negative, of course. And that's another magnetic thing. Sexual relationships. And people abuse it. Not with their true intent of or understanding of their sexual energy. While seeing it on a physical level as just sex. And where there's such a deeper underlying, there's your underlying, and there's so much depth under it that relates to that sexual energy that can make things more enjoyable in life instead of chasing for sexual desires all the time. It makes one look bad. And excuse me, and that magnetic force draws in the wrong people who want to abuse it. As you abuse your own integrity and seek for these sexual, whatever you want to call it, sexual links to other people. And then they see it. And they link onto you. And that magnet becomes a force that breaks down from what is seen around it. It's abused by all the metals around it as it attaches onto it. And just like any magnet, it's got to release them and clean itself up. Or it loses its force. It's funny the direction how things can change, but yet staying on the same path. As that wasn't intended, but we've came to here, so we roll with it. And that's what I do in this channel, roll with it, see where it goes. And we are all magnetic forces. And we need to look after that magnetism, that field that we put out there. And be careful of what we're putting out there, because we will pull that force in. So in the sexual way, if we're putting it out there, it's going to come after us. And it's not going to look good, it's not going to feel good, it's not going to be good. And the whole thing about the sexual energy is it's a manifesting energy that you can use to create, like when you're going to bed or waking up in the morning, the brain waves is the best time to focus on something that you desire, or a time whenever you're focused on something like a flower, you're caught by the sunlight of the flower as it comes down, and you see it just gazing through the leaves, and it breaks up the rays of the sun, and you just capture it, and it's caught you for a minute or two. Well, that kind of focus is the time then you can create things into your life, that you have a heightened power within you in your magnetic field. And another moment would be intercourse. When you're having intercourse, that moment in time is a time to put up that magnetic field, to draw in what you desire. As you're at a heightened moment of passion with the one you love, supposedly. So you're in this moment and you're in this heightened state, and both parties are just looking at it as sex. Then you're wasting your energy. Where you have that moment and you extend it out, radiate it out, that field, with your thoughts and feelings to your desires. And what you'll do is you'll draw in them desires to come to you, because you're at that heightened state of enjoyment. And when you're enjoying life and at peace and harmony, just everything's sweet, then you draw that in. your magnetic field becomes bigger, stronger. And that goes with keeping oneself clean, within and out, by watching what you're drawing in towards you. Being careful of someone's negativity, for example. If it's coming in at you, that's going to take you down. Well, if you let it. If you get attached to what they're saying, or keep them in your radar. Because if you keep them in your radar and you're not attached to what they're saying, there's no reason to keep them in your radar. Because the longer they stay in the radar, it's going to start affecting your field. Because the only way it's not is you keep focus on them to keep them cut off. But by you keeping focus on them, you still are getting affected because you're wasting your time focused on them. So you need to move away from that and keep it at a distance where it's not in your field. And draw in the sweet things of life. It's your choice what you draw in. That's the magnet that you are. And it all starts with your thinking and feeling. And using them special moments in time when you're with a partner. Drawing in them things that you love about life. Draw them in towards you. As you have that moment in time, enjoying that moment while enjoying what's going to be coming next. Because you're creating it. And you do this at night time, morning time. These special moments as well. Is your power moments. So you're like a magnet. And in with that field that you've out there, then you have that power to draw in what you desire. But are you using your power? Or are you misusing it? Only you will know. And how you feel about life. How's life treating you? Or should I say, how are you treating yourself? Are you enjoying life? Are you making it enjoyable? Because it comes down to you. And that will become down to all the attachments that's around you, that you bring to your life. Anyway, if you're not, start releasing some of them attachments. Clean up that door. Get fresh. And get that magnetic field going again. This Happy Chopper. Love and peace.